from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they actually love, and create real, amazing relationships. Open phones this hour. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, host of The Ken Coleman Show, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. And Ken, I'm convinced America should be very afraid right now. Returning to the phone screening chair after several years in management and leadership is the famous Laura Johnson.
Yes.
When she started, she was Laura Mays. We used to call her the Amazing One, and then we learned better. But cold.
Wow.
Cold.
Right out of the gate, she just got back in the control room.
The abuse begins quickly.
Yeah.
It's a management tool that we're here at Ramsey. Abuse.
Yeah. So fun to see her over there. She also.
She sat across the glass from me here, and like this, couldn't talk back, which was wonderful, for like 13 years.
Yeah.
And then moved into producing and leading the production teams here at Ramsey and all this. And today, because we're in a holiday week, we're shorthanded, and she's stepped back into her old talents.
Yeah, she used to oversee me on the video channel when I first started here. I was not a personality. I was
that was
hosting,
a chore.
And boy, she just gave me all kinds of grief. She would
deserved
say
it.
things in my ear while I was live on the air, and so she's awesome. It's good to see her smiling face. She's the OG. The original right there, LJ, the OG. So it's good to have her in there.
Wow, you
I did ask her.
Kind of hip when you.
Well, I'm trying hard, and every teenager that's listening is rolling their eyes.
Seriously a boomer. Yeah.
But I asked her how many people had to not be available for us to get you today, and it was a lot.
We had to go way down the list.
Yeah. So
we're digging out the bottom.
Yeah,
Laura Johnson screening phones today, associate producer for the day. So she's working for all the people that work for her today, and that's how it works here at Ramsey. We do what it takes to get her done. Open phones 888-825-5225. Thomas is in Florida. Hey, Thomas, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Good. How can we help?
Well, I'm a very goal-driven person. Recently, I've been wondering, should I try and work towards my passion of being a storyboard writer, or should I listen to Michael Rowe's advice and find a trade job to help me become a little bit more profitable, then focus on my passions?
Well, that's a good setup. I've heard a lot of people have approached me on that and what Mike says, and I don't want you to confuse what he's saying. I think this is probably a both and. What is it going to take for you to be a successful storyboard writer? That comes down to skills and experience. So what does that journey look like? Can you do that full time? If you cannot support yourself doing that full time, then maybe a trade or any other job that I would call a day job that allows me to take care of business and then train, get some experience on the side, build the relationships, and get to a place where I can step from one to the other. And I think the way you said that in that second classification is probably the way to do it. But it doesn't have to be a trade.
Thomas, wait a minute. Let me ask you something. We use Storyboard in all our productions and things we do here. I'm kind of doubting, since I know a little bit about the business, that there's full-time work for a storyboard writer in Sarasota Springs, Florida.
Well,
if you're in L.A., Atlanta, Nashville, where there's a lot of film production and a lot of video production of things, I'm missing something. Is Sarasota Springs the center of video and I don't know it?
No, sir. But I was just thinking about maybe moving somewhere where the work would be more available.
Yeah, you can get there. The question is, what does that look like? What's a successful storyboard writer making? Do you know?
No, sir.
You got to know. We can't just kind of go, well, I'd like to do this. Well, I'd like to dunk a basketball on a 10-foot rim. It's not happening.
No,
so
not without a trampoline.
So how realistic is it? So here's the first thing you've got to do. what does a career path look like in that space? And to Dave's point, is that a full-time gig? If it's not, is it a subsidiary of a writing position?
Yeah, I think you're
out.
a content and creative guy first and foremost. I'm afraid you're niching this out too far. I mean, you've gone this down to the very nuanced job that a handful of people in the world have, and so I mean, content creation is in essence what storyboarding is.
That's right.
And you're helping the production team create a narrative and a flow through what they're getting ready to put on film or tape, whatever we want to call it. None of it above digits, but anyway, so if we were doing that at Ramsey, we would be hiring a creative who also did, a content person who also did. As a matter of fact, that's how we do it. We don't have anybody here that does that. So I'm kind of gonna. How old are you?
I am 20 years old, sir.
How did you decide that storyboard writing was your thing?
Because I usually enjoyed like coming up with expanding through storylines and coming up with creative original ideas and so forth. And I was figuring I could bring to light.
Stay right there.
Yeah,
what you just said to us.
You're a great content guy.
So Thomas, what you just said to us, that is a 50,000-foot view of a job description. So you start with that. Now the research process is, what are all the different ways that professionally I can do this work? What are the pathways to all of those positions? Then we ask, well, then what am I going to have to do to get the experience and the qualifications to eventually get there? Now we have real answers. And again, you're 20. I appreciate the call, but you don't know what you don't know. And we've got to go get answers to those type of things. Then the question is, all right, what is the best financial path for me to get there? And if picking up a trade, and again, the trades, we think of blue-collar work, but in today's world, you can go to a coding camp and you can get an IT trade that pays you very, very well, that will give you stability and the opportunity to acquire these skills on the side. Because in the world that we live in, and let's just call it the content world, whether you're a broadcaster, speaker, author, doesn't matter. That is a much tougher path, and it takes a little bit longer, and it is based on experience, and many times experience doesn't pay. And so you've got to be patient, and this is a long haul, potentially, if you want to be in that content space.
Yeah. I think you could very well end up spending a lot of your life doing storyboarding at some point, but it's kind of like you called up and said, I not only want to be an actor, I want to be an actor in commercials. I not only want to be an actor in commercials, I want to be an actor only on car insurance commercials.
Right.
And so I'm going to tell you, pan back a little bit, and let's broaden the horizon that still encompasses your passion area, and let the storyboarding be a nuance within it, and I think it'll help you get there. It's a neat call. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. We're honored with your question. Thank you. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Paycheck to Purpose, is my co-host today. Brett is with us. Brett is in Charleston, South Carolina. Hi, Brett. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thank you both for having me on. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Sure. What's up?
So I grew up very poor, often not even having meals. And then as my grew into a senior in high school, both my parents got jobs making six figures. And it seemed like it was so fun eating out and just living recklessly as a whole family. And then my parents got divorced. Everything just kind of fell apart. And I now have been blessed of owning my own business and making a pretty considerable salary increase. And I find myself feeling fearful about the money that I'm making. I know I still have $11,000 to pay off on baby step 2, but I just am kind of afraid of the effect of money. I just am living in fear, and I'm hoping to get some help.
Be more specific.
What is it you're afraid of?
I don't want the lifestyle of money to be able to tear away the things that really matter to me. I don't want it so that we're just eating out and living, like this great life, and then some of the family values kind of go by the wayside. How do you find those values while earning greater money? How do you stay rooted, I guess?
Okay. Number one, I don't think you're going to have a problem because you are watching for it. It's the people that don't watch for it that it gets. So you're not looking to money to be your salvation. And so it's not going to let you down. People that get in trouble are the ones that say, oh, I'll be happy when, and then they're not happy when, okay? Because money's, success, money, anything's a bully in the schoolyard. As soon as you achieve it and you step across, he draws a line in the sand and says, if you step across this line, I'm going to punch you. And you step across the line, he backs up and draws another line and says, if you step across this line, then I'm really going to punch you. And that's what it's always moving. This, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when. And those are the people that getting money gets them off track because they thought money had a power to do things it does not have. It does not have the power to give you happiness. It does not have the power to give you joy. It does not have the power to give you peace. It does not have the power to create values in your family. Unless you try to give it that power, and then it will let you down. But you're not going to do that, so I'm really not worried about you.
I appreciate you saying that. As just a dad of 4 daughters, I just want to make sure I, use it to its best opportunity. So I'm
so like my little boy, we
that.
finally got a decent car after we went bankrupt, and my little boy at the time is the little guy. He's the smallest of the Ramseys, right? And we get him finally get a car that's not got like a dent in it. Finally get a decent vehicle. And he's in the back seat, and we're doing the old family drive around the block in the new car. Everybody check out the new car. Ooh, ah, we're excited, right? You know the routine, right? And he leans back and he goes, we're doing pretty good. Right? And see, that's a signal that there's a problem. And so I just stopped the car and I said, we aren't doing good at all. I'm doing good. You got nothing. I'm doing pretty good. You're broke, okay? And so you just need to know that's where you're starting from. BROKE, buddy. And so, and so that's, in other words, we did not allow money to be the value of okay, now we're okay when we get this better car. Oh, now we're okay if we get to move in that house. Oh, now we're okay if I have a label on my purse or whatever the crap it is, right? And so, you're just not going to allow your family to be defined by this. And so money then becomes, P.T. Barnum had a wonderful saying. He said, money is a fabulous slave. It's a horrible master.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about, is who's in charge here. You are the money. You're in charge. The money's not. So you're not going to fall prey to these things. As long as you keep money, don't let money be in charge. In anyone's life that is in your purview, your spouse, your kids. As for me and my house, money is a tool. It's not the master. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say this,
that.
Brett. I can feel the fear on you, and that's why we push you to be specific. And I think you're afraid that more money and affluency that comes with that is going to distract you and tempt you to do things you don't want to do, as opposed to say, no, the money I make and any wealth that comes with that is going to allow me to do more of what I believe we should do. So I think it's boundaries, setting up those boundaries. Like Dave said, when do you hear something or see something or smell something among the family where it goes, that's not right, I want to nip that in the bud. And I think it's setting boundaries and not worrying about the temptation. If you've got clear boundaries, I think you're going to do more of the right things instead of doing things that you don't want to do.
But you grew up hearing, and most of us did, that rich people are evil, or they're all crooks, or something like that, which is absolute hogwash. It's asinine. It's an absolute lie. But it's the stuff that poor people or hopeless people say because they're jealous.
Yeah.
And so, most rich people I know are no more crooked than the poor people I know. And they're no more righteous than the poor people I know. The amount of money you have doesn't make you a crook or righteous. It's a character quality. So, it's amoral. Money's amoral. It does not have morals. It just attaches itself to people who do. And so, you got this message from childhood, from the growing up hood, the neighborhood, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm afraid I'm going to become one of those evil rich people. And then you discover, no, I'm just going to be one of the good rich people. Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, I love what you said about the Daniel story. It's one of my favorite stories. It reminds me of something Shaquille O'Neal said, I believe it was during his Hall of Fame speech, but it's perspective. He said to his kids, we ain't rich, I'm rich.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing.
It's like, give the kids context.
Yeah.
Why do I make this money? What had to happen for us to get to this place? Now, what do we believe we should do with money? And you give it perspective, and then the kids and everybody else goes, okay, I get it.
But, here's the thing, and you show the kids it came from hard work. You show the kids that business is successful because we're helping a lot of people.
That's exactly right. And, hey, I had to struggle. I tell my kids all the time, I try to remind them, they were little when I first started after this whole broadcasting thing. I remind them all the time how bad the first broadcasting things I did were. Like, they don't even deserve to be drug out of the ditch, the ash heap of history. Like, you had to do bad stuff. You had to do humble stuff. You had to struggle. It took time to build. Like, this doesn't you don't just show up and do the things I'm doing today. And all my kids understand that, And, by the way, they also understand that if they want more money, they've got to go to work.
Yeah.
I don't just keep filling up their bank account.
Yeah, but eating out does not destroy your family values.
No.
He brought up eating out several times. Eating out does not.
I think he was worried about getting away from the dinner table, which I get that.
Then say,
so now make the dinner table a part of the family tradition.
Part of our weekly schedule is 3 nights a week, 5 nights a week, whatever it is. Right. We are all gathering at the table, and no, you can't book anything across that. And I don't care what your friends are doing, and this is what we do. The other nights we can go out to eat, or you can go out with your buddies, or do whatever. You can go over to somebody else's house, whatever. But these nights we're here, and if you're wanting to establish that as a family tradition, a family rhythm, that's a good thing.
It is.
It's a good thing. And if you're going to go ahead and do that, then just no screens at the table, by the way. So
I agree with that.
Just help you with that.
Dave, you're not going to believe this. We made the Coleman kids play Clue last night, and they howled like I was torturing them. And would you believe that they actually enjoyed it once I got them into the game and they figured out how to play it? But you would have thought I was the worst father of all time.
You are.
I don't want to play Clue. I don't want to play. How long does it take?
I can't. You're a child abuser. Make them play board games.
It was good. They actually ended up enjoying it.
Golly.
Imagine that.
Yeah. It's Boomer Day on the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Mark is with us. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Fantastic, Dave. Thanks for the introduction. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, sir. Where do you live?
Just outside of Dallas and Fate, Texas.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The Garland area.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. Good to have you, man. So how much debt have you paid off?
I paid off $323,000 in 5.5 years.
Of course you did. Wow. All right. And your range of income during that 5.5 years?
$112,000 to $166,000.
Cool. What do you do for a living?
Well, I started out as a wireless network engineer and then noticed a need for a technical project manager in that space. So I went out and got some education and transitioned to a technical project manager.
Nice income increase.
Yeah, it was tough. There was a little bit of a dip, but what I continued to do is just rely on my technical skills in the wireless space, and then I volunteered to present the status of our project to upper management, and so it just grew from there. And I realized that there was very few people that could communicate technically speaking, and then work as a project manager. So. And I did that during my debt-free journey.
Wow. How long was that dip that you just described?
It took probably about 8 months, but so I was relying on my wireless network skills as an engineer, fixing problems, and then, like I said, just really volunteered to present the status to folks, did some PowerPoint presentations. And so I've combined my technical skills with project management skills, and it's offering, what I've discovered is it offers a unique skill set that a lot of people don't have right now.
I love that story right there, Dave. This is a guy who goes, all right, I want to make some changes. And you took the dip, but you didn't slow down. You didn't accept it. Now you got the big pay bump.
Yeah.
That helped accelerate the journey.
Yeah.
Really love that story.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. I appreciate that. Hats off to you too. You and I have a little bit of history. You took my call on the last caller, February 2nd, 2022. I was in a pretty dark place during my journey, and it was you and Ken and George. You guys took my call, and that really inspired me a bit.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What kind of debt was your $323,000?
Dave, I had everything. I had student loans, I had car loans, I had credit cards, I had outdoor cameras. In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, they were lining up cheetahs to join the field. But I tell you what, we might want to call some animal people, get the cheetahs some help, because they're not looking too good back there.
Yeah, getting a little thin.
Yeah.
Not having enough to eat these days. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So you were normal though. You collected every kind of debt.
Yeah, rental properties included.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
What do you attribute? What do you tell people that the secret to getting out of debt is? I mean, $323,000, dude. That's high cotton.
Yeah, I mean, it was $5,000 a month for 63 months. For me, it was the moment that I walked into my master bathroom. I just remember that there was a period there where I said, I have a mess. I can't retire. And I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. I was 50 years old at that point. So I had to clean up my mess.
Yeah.
Had to figure it out.
I mean, and so you had kind of an oh crap, I've had it moment.
Yeah.
And then what did you do? How'd you get tied into us?
Well, so I listened to your radio station. I was working a second shift. I would get off at 7 o'clock or 6:30, drive home, and I have a tendency to listen to the news on the radio on the way home, so I don't have to constantly listen to the same recirculated stories over and over again when I get home. So I was thumbing through the AM radios, landed on your station or your radio replay, and that's what got me inspired. In 2014, that was 2014, I joined Financial Peace University at that point, and didn't finish it. It was a 13-week long course with the kit, and I didn't finish it. But the seed had been planted, and I knew in 2016 I was at a point where I just had to do something. The final moment for me happened in March of 2016 and April. We had a really bad hailstorm, and it caused my rental properties to have claims opened up on it. And then I hit 50 years old. I was like, I went ahead and I paid that, put it on the credit card for the deductibles, and then hit 50 years old, said, man, I got a real problem. A week later, we had a second hailstorm that required a second claim, and that hailstorm eventually ended up causing about $42,000 of damage on my rental properties. And so it took me 6 months, 7 months, and I remember in November of 2016, I walked into that bathroom and just looked at myself, and it was as if nobody existed in the world. It was just me, my raw emotions, and the person looking in that mirror. And I just said, I need to figure this out. There's no one else here that I can count on. I need to do this. And the next day, I sold all of my employee stock purchase plan, $35,000 of Cisco stock. Sold that and paid off my credit card, one of my credit cards, and I had an 80-20 loan on one of my rental properties. I paid off the 20% of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You killed it, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
How's it feel to be free?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, the world, I've just recently told people that I'm a 55-year-old infant.
I like it. Hey, we got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you, a copy of the Baby Steps Millionaires book, a one-year membership to Financial Peace University, all in the Live and Give bundle. And that's the thing that you'll be able to do is give most of that away. You've been through most of it, but I think you're on the track to be a Baby Steps millionaire. Also, there's rumors going around here at Ramsey, and sometimes there's rumors going around here. They're always good rumors when they go around here, that you've been working extremely hard and that you've been very, very, very dedicated towards, you really had a desire to become a financial coach,
yeah,
a Ramsey financial coach. And so Tim Mann with the coaching team is going to come join you here on the stage. Tim, I'll let
Mark,
you take it for a second.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch your progress over the last year, to see how you have jumped in repeatedly inside of FPU, inside of Financial Peace University, participating in group coaching, encouraging others, challenging others, and also seeking out, how do I become a financial coach? I think you've been on, a dozen of our Financial Coach Master Training webinars and workshops, and just watching your growth and progress. I'm just really excited to let you know we're going to bring you in, no charge, Financial Coach Master Training on us. We are so excited to have you. You are what we're looking for in coaching. You're the guy who is the encourager. You're the guy who's going to share your story. You're the guy who's going to continue to bring other people along in this journey, and we could not be any prouder of you, Mark.
Thanks, Tim. You have an incredible...
Woo! Very cool. That's pretty fun.
Dave, you have an incredible family here, an incredible team.
I do.
They are part of my extended family, and going through this...
That's what we heard.
Going through this as a single person, Tim and his team, I'm standing here because of the inspiration that they gave me over those phone calls.
And now you get to pay it forward.
Yeah, absolutely. and if I can share anything, just the feeling, I want to pass along the feeling that I have on that last payment, knowing and watching that last payment clear. I want others to feel that.
Amen.
I want people to lean into their debt, own
Amen.
it, and drive it and solve it.
And I want you to get your debt-free scream in. All right, here we go.
Tim, thank you.
Mark from Garland, Texas, $323,000 paid off in 5.5 years, making 112 to 166. Future certified financial coach from Ramsey. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. In Jesus Christ, I'm debt-free!
Yeah! Woo-hoo! Wow. We train people to be financial coaches, for those of you that don't know, and the training is a wee bit expensive to go through it. But Mark, he's a special guy. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. One of the keys to becoming successful with money is learning the art and science of generosity, building your generosity muscle. So every year we always do a giving show at Christmas time to highlight the power of generosity, and we need you to help us with the giving show by being on the show, telling your giving or receiving story. Someone gave to you and changed your life. Someone you were able to give, and it was a rock star moment, and it'll inspire other people to be generous by hearing your story. We need 3 hours worth of those. We're going to do the show on December the 14th, so we'll be calling you on that day, and we need you to send an email in. Tell us a little bit about the story, and the team will be in touch with you and get you lined up and all. So you email to ask@RamseySolutions.com. The name ask@RamseySolutions.com. Just put giving in the subject line or something like that, and we'll help you be part of the upcoming giving show. And Ken, for the Black Friday coming up, we got a deal on the Get Clear assessment.
That's right.
I don't know why this is a deal. It shouldn't be a deal because it's a deal, and this thing is a deal without making it a deal.
Yeah, well, you get it just this week for $20. It's $10 off the normal price. And this is a tool that's going to help anybody who's not where they want to be professionally. Maybe you're on the right track, but you feel like you should be getting promoted maybe a little bit quicker. You're trying to get that breakthrough. Maybe you have no idea what you want to do. Maybe you're looking for that idea for a side hustle. The idea is how can I find purpose in work and then make the income that I want? And this tool does it for you. It's the Get Clear Career Assessment, and it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. Only $20, normally $30.
Yeah, and the Paycheck to Purpose #1 best-selling book, $10 right now. And Baby Steps Millionaires, my latest #1 bestseller, $10.
Wow.
Which makes all of my books now available at only $10. It's ridiculous. There's inflation out there.
Did you approve of this, Dave, or did they sneak this one in on you?
Cheap. This is my too cheap. Makes me feel cheap.
Right.
It makes you feel cheap when you buy it for just $10. It's a deal. 10 people for $100. You knock out their gifts right there. Boom, just like that. RamseySolutions.com. Black Friday deals on gifts that actually matter. LaJill is with us. LaJill is in Detroit. Hi, LaJill. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ken.
Hey.
Hi.
What's up?
Hi. So I am trying to go from Dave-ish to full-on Dave. And I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I bring in a lot of money a lot of different ways. But my question is, when I'm paying off debt, should I focus on just the business I have that makes me money instead of putting out money for my other businesses to make money? If that makes sense.
How many are making money?
So, like, okay, for example, I throw, like, parties. I'm an event planner. So I maybe spend, like, $1,200, but I'll make a couple grand. But I don't know if I should be putting that money out to do that.
Wait a minute. You spend $1,200 and you make $3,200 profit of a couple grand?
Right.
That's debt you're paying off every time you do that.
All right. I mean, so profit is profit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not spending the money and it's not coming back. It's coming back to you instantaneously almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes back the day of the party. Yeah, a couple months later.
Yeah. Okay, so which business that one's not losing money?
Well, I have social media type stuff, and that's the stuff that doesn't necessarily make me money right here and now. And then I also do like drawing and logos and stuff, and that makes me money when people like ask for it. But I don't know if I should really get into like the full-on advertising and content creating side of things, or I should just wait for all that type of stuff.
You should wait to expand. Right now, you just want to do things that make you money so you get out of baby step 2 fast, quick as possible, right? So we can delay the stuff that you want to maybe expand one day once we're in a position to do so.
5 years from today, do you want to be in the logo business or the event planning business?
Do I want to be in the what or the event planning?
Do you want to be in event planning or logos? Which one?
Event planning.
Okay. Start doing that now then. Quit screwing around with 17 things. You get no power when you don't focus. I'd focus on event planning and blow it up. Put all your time, all your energy, all your effort, all your creative waking hours into one thing. Working 3 different businesses is a recipe for getting none of them off the ground.
Okay, well, so my main source of income is actually like grocery delivery, where I do like ship Instacart type thing, and I make pretty good money doing that.
Okay,
so
but that's not what we're talking about. That's a stopgap until the event business gets big enough that you don't have to do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're making $100,000 a year doing event planning, you wouldn't be doing any of this other crap.
Very true.
Okay.
Okay, I will do that.
I'm going to send you a copy. I'm going to send you a copy of a quick read we have called the Momentum Theorem. And the Momentum Theorem is this: focused intensity over time multiplied by God creates unstoppable momentum. And this book will take you about an hour and a half to read max. Okay? And it explains exactly what this focused intensity looks like. And you have the exact opposite of that. You have dispersed intensity, which has no power to it.
It feels like that. The older I get, the more I feel powerless. Yeah.
Light dispersed lights a room. Light focused you can do surgery with. It's called a laser. And I want you to be laser. And you're going to move this business into the stratosphere when you do. Because you got so much energy on you. There's so much joy coming off of you. You're like the ultimate event planner. This is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. And, again, you have a side hustle that's actually spinning off real profit. That's where you put your focus right now. We're trying to generate income to get out of debt, get the emergency fund in place, and that changes your entire perspective. So, I mean, the focus here is absolutely the word. You know, trying to do too many things is exhausting, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on top of everything else. It's enough to get out of debt. You don't need all these other distractions.
It's a little bit of the problem we've got with a whole bunch of things in our culture today. People's inability to keep their eye on the ball, to stay and play through, to have some grit, to stick with something all the way through and finish it up. And, I want work-life balance, but I want to spend 40 hours a week on my screens. So, no, I think you need to get off your stupid screens. And actually look in the eyes of your family, actually be present physically with your family, and then not wonder why relationships are bad because you suck at them.
Right. And then one of the things that we see in this case here is we prospect as opposed to digging deep. Like, we're going to invest, right? It's like our investment strategy that you've taught for decades. It's slow and steady wins the race. It's disciplined, low risk.
But you're drilling to the core. We're not just skimming the surface.
That's right. None of this prospecting.
We're not strip mining. Yeah.
Right. And so the serial entrepreneurs can fall prey to that, to go, well, I'm going to try this because this could strike. but I'm going to do this and hedge my bets over here. Maybe this will strike. And as opposed to digging deep to get that oil, like we're going to commit and go deep. And that's where you see long-term success, financially, relationally, your health, everything.
Yeah, the reason I can smell this out is because I used to do it.
Right.
Like, I'm 24 years old, buying real estate like crazy, hand over fist. And I almost, in the middle of all of that, financed $25,000 worth of quarter machines to put at the market to pump air into your tires.
Yeah.
When they first started charging for air, I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, and I thought this is going to work. And I almost stopped what I was doing because I'm a serial entrepreneur and ADD as I can be, and stopped doing this successful real estate thing that was working and went and bought air machines. That's how dumb I am.
Yeah. By the way, those things never work. When I need air, can never get one that works, Dave.
I don't know about that.
Bought my own machine.
Not my fault because I didn't buy it. So you have to turn your complaint into the Department of Complaints.
You don't need, right?
Yeah, really. Wow. Hey, folks, if you like the show, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing it with a friend. It makes all the difference in the world. It lights up the things called the internet. We love it when you do that. Subscribe to the show, leave a review, a 5-star review, and share it with a friend. Thank you. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Paycheck to Purpose, and host of the Ken Coleman Show, talking about your jobs, your careers, is my co-host today. Open phones, 888-825-5225. Amanda's with us in Fort Worth. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Hi. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Good. I'm needing your help to solve an argument between my husband and I about paying off our mortgage.
Okay.
So he's retired. He's 66, and I'm still working. I'm 63. We don't have any debt except for our mortgage. We owe $100,000 on it. We're wanting to take money out of our 401, or he's wanting to take money out of the 401 to pay the balance of the mortgage. But I always agree with that, paying off the mortgage. But now since we've lost so much money in our 401, then I know if we take it out, then it's considered really losing it. So I just wanted your opinion.
Okay. So you're not arguing as to whether to do this. You're arguing whether to do this now or wait on the market to come back up.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's the only question, is the timing, not the actual action. All right.
Oh, yeah. We definitely want to do it.
Okay. And how much is in the 401k?
It was $400,000. Now it's $300,000. And we owe $100,000 on the house. And it's a $300,000 house. But we probably have about $40,000 we can put towards in cash. We can put towards it too. So it would be $60,000 coming out of it.
Sounds like you're invested very poorly. The market is not down 25%.
Well, we're with
market's down 12 to 15%.
Now I don't know if we've lost $100,000 in the last 2 years, not 1 year, but. So I probably need to check on it again. We are with an Investor Pro, but we probably need to check on it again.
With a Smart Investor Pro, okay.
Yes,
right.
Sir.
Yeah. What do you make?
$70,000.
Okay. It's on the bubble for me. Okay, here's why.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you told me you had $4 million in there, I'd tell you stop your whining and just write a check today. Okay. If you had 100,000 or if you had 200,000 in there and you're going to pull 100 out and that's only going to leave you 100, I'll tell you don't do it. Let's wait and whittle away at it and pay it down out of your income. Okay. But you're kind of in the middle. And with 400 or 300 in there, you're going to have a good amount still left in the nest egg. Do you have other investments other than this 401?
That 401 is a couple of 401s, mine and my husband's.
You can't touch your. How old are you?
I'm 63. So
oh, you're 63.
Mine,
okay.
He's 67.
Okay, so both of you can get at it. Okay, so that's the total of all your retirement then.
Yes.
Okay. Either one's okay. I really can't help you with solving the argument. What Sharon and I would do in this case is we would probably kind of meet in the middle, and that would be okay. I'm willing to wait on it to come back up some, but not just this indefinite weird thing. So I'm gonna put a number on it. When the account returns to X, we're taking the money out and paying off the mortgage.
Okay.
And I don't care what that is. I mean, if you make it 423,000, right? Whatever. When the account hits 423, that day we're taking 100 out and paying off the house. And just be in agreement on the number instead of this vague thing of the stock market emotions, right, and all that stuff, right? We don't want to get in that game. So that would be the game plan.
Can start, even our $1,100 that we make payments, we can start putting that back in the market too. So that's kind of what we're thinking.
Yeah, and so you could do it today. It's not going to cause you to bankrupt. It's not going to cause you to not eat at retirement. You could do it today, but if you want to ride, to your point, the market is down. Do we want to try to ride it back up a little? I'm not much on time in the market. I don't like that in general. But I kind of get it to a point. So if it's me, I'm going to say, all right, when it gets to a certain point, and I don't care what that is, 375. Y'all talk it through. But I'm somewhere 375, 4 1/4, or something like that. Then that day I'm cashing it out, and we're both in agreement, and the argument's over.
Okay.
That makes sense. I'm curious, Amanda. Is the 40 cash you said you could throw it? Is that above and beyond your emergency fund?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and throw that out.
I would do that for sure.
Yeah,
now it's less money you're pulling out of the 401k when that time comes.
Yeah, good point. And you know what might happen?
Okay.
You might just beat the crap out of the thing out of your income and your budget with only 60 left and just knock it out and not even hit the 401.
That's true too. Okay.
That could happen before it comes back up to your magic number you come up with, right?
Yeah.
But the trick here, the
true.
Beautiful thing about this is it doesn't really matter either way you go on this. What matters mostly is that you get in agreement and you get unified, and then that puts both of your shoulder to the plow again, and it starts the plow moving again. Right now we're just circling and running around and arguing about it. And so let's just decide what it is, put a number on it, throw the 40 at it, start beating it out of the budget, and when it returns to that number, if you hadn't knocked it out, finish it off that day. Yeah. And given that we just put 40 on there and there's only 60 left,
I think that motivates me to knock the 60 out.
I'm gonna be real tempted to do it now, but I'm also gonna, if not, I'm gonna lower the number. That's the magic number.
Yes.
I might take it back all the way back down to 350 or something. I want to get to, or 360. Let's say there's 300 left over after we take the money out, right? Or you got to pay taxes, so 370, whatever. But let's just decide something like that, and then get there. Or when the balance is equal to the amount over 300. I'm making all this up. I just like to have some kind of set objective thing that Sharon and I no longer have an argument now. The decision's already made. It's a matter of when it gets there, it's executed. Boom.
Yeah, here, Amanda, Dave gave you great advice. I will tell you, my personal opinion is I hate paying taxes so much that I would pay the 40 today, and then I'd knock the 60 out. I just don't want to take the tax hit on the 401k, even though that's a viable option. It just drives me nuts, Dave, to take the hit. Yeah. So I'd want to just cash flow and pay the 60 off.
It wouldn't hurt anything.
No.
Wouldn't hurt anything.
And then it's coming back. Your 401k is going to get back there.
Yeah.
So.
And the good news is not 600.
And the good news is they got options. And the good news is, Dave, they both want to pay the house off. So that's a nice thing to be unified on.
Done really, really, really good work. Excellent, excellent job. This is The Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Dr. John Deloney is on Jordan Peterson's podcast this week and YouTube show. It's aired starting yesterday. Long-form interview, hour and some change, and the two of them together is way more brain cells than I care to think about in one place. But it's incredible. I listened to it, watched it all the way through, and it is absolutely amazing. Go check it out. Again, Jordan Peterson and Dr. John Deloney together talking about childhood trauma, marriage, making friends, all the types of things that John talks about on the Dr. John Deloney Show pretty regularly. Black Friday sales are here. Don't get squashed by people running to the bargain bin. Head to RamseySolutions.com. Get early access to some of our lowest prices of the year. The team has even marked prices down as low as $7. All audiobook gift cards are $7 this week only. Whoa! That includes even the new book, Baby Steps Millionaires. All our books are read by the authors, by the way. And so you can pick them up. The audiobooks are pretty stinking incredible. Good way to make a car ride or an airplane ride go faster, too. Audio book gift cards along with tons more items, $7. This is a season to share the hope we have with people we care about. This is gifts that matter, right? So these deals are a great way to do it. Do the hard thing, share your experience, and gift them something meaningful. This book by Ken Coleman helped me get a job. This book by Dr. John Deloney helped me with my anxiety. This book by Rachel Cruz or Dave Ramsey helped me with my money, and so on, right? There we go. So check it all out at RamseySolutions.com. Black Friday deals are starting now. RamseySolutions.com. Do not miss this. Justin's with us. Justin's in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Justin. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
So my question is, me and my wife have been doing our finances, and I've come to notice that she has a credit card spending issue, and I thought maybe we should get a smaller amount credit card to help so that she can't spend so much. Is this going to solve anything, or is this just a bad idea all around?
I don't think she has a credit card spending issue. I think you have a household vision issue.
I can agree.
The two of you don't have a big enough vision for your future that you're willing to pay the price to do, and instead we're acting like little children and buying whatever we want whenever we want it, which is what most Americans do, and that's why most people are broke. And so you need a bigger vision. I want to change my family tree. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to drive a car that's not a piece of crap that I pay cash for. I want to be able to whatever. I want to be able to be outrageously generous to people, especially this time of year. I'm activated to do all that, and we're too dadgum broke because our money processes and our money habits suck. And so we need a bigger vision that we're both willing to give up our bad habits to get to the bigger vision. and then the credit cards just go away. Because they're not included in a big vision of people who want to win with money. You just get debit cards. Mm-hmm. You don't need a credit card.
Gotcha. Saving, put it away.
Yeah, just the whole thing goes away. I mean, you need to chop them all up and have an emergency fund and have a budget and be working your way out of debt. And you sound like you're fairly new to our stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'll send you a Christmas present. You and your wife look at it. It's called the Total Money Makeover, and it walks you through a detailed, proven plan, step by step, on what you can do to get control of your money, get you some money habits that work. But you're treating the symptom. You're not treating the problem.
Yeah, and he knew that. I think he just needed to hear someone else say it. I'm going to limit your undiscipline as opposed to let's remove the lack of discipline.
Yeah.
That's what we want to attack.
But no one does discipline for discipline's sake.
No, got to have a big picture.
Yeah,
I want to lose weight,
reason
right?
For this.
Or whatever it is.
For this.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Daniel's with us. Daniel is in Atlanta, Georgia. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good. How you guys doing, Dave?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
I kind of wanted some general wisdom from you since you're a business owner. We run a small business, and it's a family business. And I wanted to know how you would apply your basic budgeting principles at home to a business, kind of, sort of, to operate on cash-only basis, kind of, and stuff like that is what I'm looking for. So.
Okay. What kind of business have you got?
It's a construction trade business. We've been in business for about 17 years, but it's kind of what you say. We work harder than smart. We work hard, but we outwork our stupidity, basically. I kind of think.
What kind of construction are you doing?
Glasswork, residential.
So you're subcontractors?
Yeah, we're subcontractors for builders and homeowners and remodelers. So.
Okay. We work with construction people all over the United States in entree leadership, all right? And I grew up in the construction business, real estate business, so you and me are from the same people, okay? You're my people.
Yeah.
And so here's what normally happens. I don't know if it happened at your place, but normally we got a guy who is really good at a trade, in your case, glass, okay? Mm-hmm. And then they decide, I'm going to open a glass business. I'm going to own the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're still really good at glass, but you don't have business skills.
Yep.
Which is what you're asking me for.
Yeah, my dad, he was very much a technician, so speaking of all that stuff, he was very technician-like, you recommended a book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, which is, I listened to it while I'm driving around, and I finished it, and it runs true with a lot of things that are going on right now.
Yep. You're working in the business. You're not working on it.
So one main thing I need to do is.
So the way you do a budget is, number one, there's a subset in your world, but the way you do a budget is overall, you plan out what your income is going to be this coming month. And that's fairly easy to do because you've got most of the jobs on the books and in the pipeline. So we kind of know what we're going to get, jobs we're going to get paid on this month, and we look at our expenses for the month, and the difference is called profit.
Mm-hmm.
And you project.
Would you do that?
Go ahead.
Would you do that based off of what actually came in, or would you do that off of what is expected to come in? Because
the budget is a projection.
Yeah.
Then the actual management against budget is if we're above budget, we've got more profit. If we're below budget, we got less profit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so, but we in no case go borrowing money because we didn't do any projections and we're pulling this out of our ear all the time. Making it up every Friday.
Yeah.
It's very stressful. It's very stressful.
No, it's good. So that's the main thing, is creating time to maybe do a forecast. I think that's probably the first thing. But
and it's going to take several hours the first time you do it, and then it's going to take an hour the second time you do it, and then it's going to take 30 minutes the third time you do it. There's not a lot to this. And now the subset in your world is you probably ought to look at it for an app or some builder software that helps you job cost, and you run a profit and loss statement on each job.
Yeah.
So you estimate the job, because you guys do an estimate and turn in a bid probably, right?
Well, not really. I mean, we use QuickBooks right now. We have our own Excel program that gives us our.
No, I mean, you have to give the contractor a price, right?
Yeah, we do, but half the time right now they just go with whatever we give them these days, to be honest. But we do have we have a margin that we work off of, so that's, we do have to do a bid, so yes.
Okay, so you do a bid, and you've got a margin, and then you go back and look, did you actually hit that margin or not? Or do you just go on and act like nothing happened when you screwed it up?
You
got to revisit
just
this
press on,
stuff.
try to get a check, and then keep on pushing.
Yeah.
So,
but you could have lost money, and you would never know to adjust your next estimate if you don't go back and visit the last estimate versus actual.
Yeah.
So you got a job cost. Every job is its own P&L, in other words. And did we make money on that? And it takes 10 seconds to look at it if you put the information in. So it sounds like you probably need to outsource some bookkeeping, and you need to put some job costing software on your phones, and then start living by these numbers, because this is going to catch you when this market slows down. Buffett says when the tide goes out, you can tell he was skinny dipping. And the glass business is gold business right now, but it might not be in 3 months. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, best-selling author of the book Paycheck to Purpose, is my co-host today. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. So, Ken, I was listening to our friend Mike Rowe's podcast the other day, and he had an author on, Nick Eberstadt or Eberstadt. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I should have listened to Mike pronounce it, because with his wonderful pipes, it was a great job of pronouncing it, right?
Yeah.
But Mike has been sounding the same alarm that you and I have been sounding, particularly you, that we have what you were saying at the break is a social crisis evolving, and it's showing up in the unemployment numbers when we properly measure them. Now, this economist is a mathematician that did this book, How Things Work, I guess that's Mike's podcast. I don't see the name of his book off the top of my head. Somebody handed it to me the other day at an event I was at.
I believe it's Men at Work, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines.
But the essence of their discussion that you and I have been having a similar discussion is this shift in the workplace right now, that we've got a large number of jobs available and no one applying for them. There's a shortage of labor for the first time in post-War II America. We've never seen this in modern America. And the reason there's a shortage is not because the jobs are so plentiful. It's because there are, according to this article from Fox News, quoting Mike Rowe and quoting this economist, there are now 7 million able-bodied males between 25 and 40 years old that are able to work and are not even looking for work.
Yeah, it's correct, and it's staggering. And so the point here is that what's going on? This is causing massive economic problems. Before we look at the social, very quick glance here. When you have a gap in the jobs like we've had now for the last 2 years, then you've got real small businesses being hurt by this. Think about the restaurants in your small town. They can't find people to work, and it's affecting their livelihood. Then the other economic factor is, of course, we still see a war for talent. And so wages have gone up tremendously in the last 2 years, which has now led to a stubborn inflationary period that we are in. Now, that's the economic piece. The social piece, what's crazy about this is that you've got 6.8 million people that last month, according to the latest jobs report and the Census Bureau, 100 million Americans weren't working last month. Now, half of them
100 million. That's
100
not
million.
right.
100 million. But half
were working.
No, hold on.
No, we don't have 100 million unemployed. There's only 300 million in the whole stinking
Didn't say
country.
they were unemployed. I'm saying just not working, period. I'm just breaking the numbers down for you.
Oh, yeah, like toddlers.
half are retired.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Another 12% are dealing with some type of long-term illness, or disability. Okay. And then 5.6 million people saying, I don't want to go back to work because they're scared of COVID. And then the number is right at 7 million that are saying, I don't want to work. And those are the men. So the social factor that's going on here is you've got two factors. One, you've had decades and decades of entitlements. Starts with welfare. And then if you look at during COVID, where people were getting payments every week, every month. All right. So that's an entitlement where they're disincentivized to actually go back to work. And then, Dave, I think the fact that for decades we've literally taken the pain away from our kids. We've removed the struggle. And I don't say this with jest, but I think when you look at things like everybody gets a trophy for participation, and nobody learns the sting of failure. Nobody learns the sting of rejection. And so what happens is a good amount of the 7 million men, not all of them, are in this conversation that Mike had with this economist, are looking at screens based on the data. They say how much time they spend on screens. They get dopamine hits.
2,000 hours a year.
2,000 hours a year.
These 7 million men, 25 to 54, are spending 2,000 hours a year on screens.
So self-medicating because they're scared to leave the cave, using your old analogy.
It's not cave, it's mother's basement.
Right. But the idea is they're afraid to put themselves out there. And here's what we know about work. So when someone succeeds in work, their self-esteem goes up. 2, they have financial independence or the opportunity for financial freedom. And then 3, they're a part of something bigger than themselves. It's a sense of belonging.
Dr. John Deloney would tell you your mental health goes up because your dignity, your autonomy,
that's it.
Your ability to control your environment goes up. There is such a mental illness tie-in.
No question.
Caused by not working.
That's right.
Literally. So this idea that you have not put gravel in the stomach of your kids, they have no grit, means as a parent you suck. And so you mommies need to throw your 25-year-old out of your basement yesterday and put him on the street and teach him to work. You're late to the party, but you need to do this. You are doing him a disservice. You are doing America a disservice. You are doing your neighbors a disservice. You're doing the mental health community a disservice. You're risking his increased likelihood of depression, anxiety, and suicide.
That's exactly right.
You are doing all of these things because you're letting Junior play Call of Duty 2,000 hours a year in your basement, and he ain't ever been called to any duty.
Yeah. And the irony is you're doing all of that under the guise of helping your kid feel good about themselves. And the very thing that they need to feel good about themselves is to go out and do good.
Yeah. It's the wussification of America.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a bunch of wussies.
Yeah.
Is what it amounts to. And, seriously, a good cowboy boot in the butt of this whole thing would be helpful. It really, really would. It just pisses me off. I mean, this is just a thing where you just need to work. Oh, my God. 7 million, and they call them men in this article. I'll call them males. All right? Males, 25 to 40, 7 million of them literally sitting on their butts. And someone else is caring for them. The government, their mommy, their live-in girlfriend who thinks he's cute.
Here's the breakdown.
Got a sugar mama, do you, buddy?
Here's here's some of the census data, Dave, from a Bloomberg article. The equivalent of 32 million people who aren't working are relying on savings. That includes retirement, okay? Another 26 million are using credit cards or loans, and 12 million have been borrowing
the
from
credit card
families.
is the devil. It's at the center of the problem.
There it is. And then here's the part we've been talking about. 12 million have said that they're borrowing from family or friends to help keep them out of the workforce.
Yeah.
They're living off
family
of
and friends. You're enablers.
Yep.
You're giving a drunk a drink. You're giving a lazy person the ability to still be lazy. You're giving someone who's in avoidance mode because they're afraid, they're scared, they're paralyzed by the facing reality and stepping into the real world, when the best thing that can happen to you, the most alive you'll ever feel, is when you risk it and you step up to the plate and the ball comes whizzing across and scares the piss out of you while you swing the bat. This is the best thing that can happen to you.
That's right.
And you strike out.
Right.
And it's okay.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. Oh, darn.
Well, I think the simplest way to look at what Dave is saying is, remember all of us when we rode a bike the first time, we were terrified, horrified maybe.
I'm terrified right now.
Yeah. But what happened? Like, we took that fear, we stepped into it, we learned to ride the bike, and it wasn't much longer before we were saying, look, Mom, no hands. We go from terrified to get on the bike to, look, Mom, no hands. And that's the human spirit, the idea of these kids, these men, I shouldn't say kids, but some of them are emotionally kids.
Yeah.
They need to feel alive, and the way you feel alive is by making a contribution for yourself and for others. That's simple.
You don't feel alive where there's no risk.
Well, that's exactly right.
And the coddling of the American male, the wussification of this culture, it is really starting to be a social problem.
And now an economic.
It started out as a parenting problem. It started out as this. And hey, man, I don't know. No. I'm just going to blame you moms and dads.
Well, I would say the friends and the parents are absolutely culpable. And I would say this.
I can blame Call of Duty if you want, but moms and dads that are good moms and dads rip that crap out of the wall and say, get your butt out and mow the grass.
Here's one other one. We the people, taxpayers. We got to
quit giving these morons money to sit on their butts.
No more government entitlements. That's where we the people can do something.
It's just not good for the moron. And it's not good for the government. And it's not good for us.
I like when I make a policy recommendation.
It's a Be Kind to Morons Day, okay? Really. Oh, my gosh.
Dave's like the soundtrack to all my policies.
This is The Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Mike is in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Ken Coleman is my co-host today, Ramsey personality. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So my wife and I are on baby steps 4 through 6. We got through the first 3 over the last 22 months.
Good.
Thanks. So my question is a little bit of a FOMO question. We have $40,000 left on our house, but with the market on such a stark downturn, I'm wondering if I shouldn't take that 15% that I should be putting towards the house and possibly invest that in, mutual funds or an S&P 500 index fund or something like that.
Nope.
It's kind of like the blue market special or the blue light special you've been talking about.
Yeah, I'm not trying to time the market in that regard. I'm just trying to get people to not pull money out of the market.
Sure.
No, you need to pay off your house, dude.
Okay. Easy enough.
Yeah, the market will always be there. It'll always be up and it'll always be down. You got plenty of time.
Sure.
You got plenty of time. Right now, we want to finish this up and have no house payments. Because I got to tell you, when you what you don't anticipate is when you pay that very last bill and you don't have a single debt in the world, your house is paid for. You're physically gonna feel this when you push that button.
Sure.
And that's way different than just taking advantage of a down market. And there's this thing that happens. Sets you free, doesn't it, Ken?
It does. And again, this is the long game that we're talking about, right? Like, if you just think about that feeling multiplied by decades, the financial freedom, the emotional freedom, all of that plays out, and it's just a priority issue. I don't think you can argue that at all. Don't get distracted. Again, this is a distraction. And I appreciate the question, say, hey, I want to take advantage because he's going, the market's down. This is a good time to jump in, and that's why we tell you to stay, not put it in, but stay. Don't pull the money out. But, you can't argue the long game.
Yeah, stick. The systems that we've put in place work and are case studied out and modeled out for 30 years. 10 million people have done them for uptimes and downtimes, for inflationary cycles, for recessionary cycles, all these different things. Gas prices of $5 or $2. It's the only systems that work in all times. And inflation's scary. And yeah, the market being down is scary. And yeah, the market being down is tempting to put money in. I get all of that. But just stay the course. Just stay the course. Just stay the course. Just slow and steady wins the race. Tortoise beats the hare every time. Lydia is in Atlanta. Hi, Lydia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So this is more of an ethical question. So my husband, I'm calling on behalf of my husband, he is committed to working at a particular company for 5 years. He's in year 4 of it. He, meanwhile, has created a business that has taken off and is providing everything that we need. But he's been working that business after he works his full-time job, which takes a lot of time and commitment and lots of time away from his family. He would like to quit his full-time job a year early. So that's where the ethical
Who
question
commits
comes
to a
in.
5-year deal? That's
I know.
weird. That's weird.
And this is all verbal. There was no contract. It was kind of off the cuff. He was being rehired at this place because he quit for a year and a half pursuing something else. And he came back and he wanted a 5-year commitment if he was going to rehire him. So at that point, he didn't have.
What is he making
going.
it? What's he making it his side gig profit?
He is making just as much as his full-time job, which I don't want to say on mine because we have lots of people who listen who know us. So.
Right. So what
nobody knows who
he's
you
making
are.
just as much though.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, the question I have here is beyond the verbal, hey, if I rehire you, I want you to commit for 5 years. Was there anything else tied to the conversation? Obviously, there's no contract, so there's no legal issue here. This is just, how do you want to leave? Because he wants to leave, and you want him to leave well to the extent that you can. So what else was committed to beyond just, hey, will you come back and give me 5 years? Was that basically the in and out of it?
I think it was, we'll hire you back at what you were making when you quit.
Has he done very well over the last 4 years for this company?
Yes.
And how's his relationship with his current leader or the ultimate boss?
It's good. It's very good. He's worked there. He had worked there for a really long time, with the exception of that year and a half break. So he's worked there for a long time.
Yeah.
We highly respect a lot of people that work there, and that's the biggest thing he's afraid of, is losing a lot of that respect. And his reputation being tainted by quitting.
I think this is man-to-man conversation.
Exactly. You go in, you sit down, you tell the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I gave you my word. I gave you my word that I would be here 5 years, and I'm going to ask you to release me from that obligation because I am ready. I'm ready to go. Huh?
This happened.
And?
You did have this conversation.
Oh, and what they say?
And it was brought up, but you committed. You gave me your word. You would be here for 5 years.
What's he? What? But there's something beyond the word. I get it, but what is his position? What is that leader worried about if he leaves? What specifically is the holdup?
Probably because it's a hard position to replace someone in, and it would take some time and training to get someone to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so stressed out about it, and.
Well, there's no reason to be stressed out about it. You make a decision, and the stress is over. And the decision
right.
is you're going to stay, or the decision is you're going to go. It's over.
Yeah.
Either way. I mean, just make a decision. That's the stress is coming from the ambivalence, the indecisiveness.
And he doesn't want to be unliked. He doesn't want people to bash him. But I don't know how much of that you can control. He did give his word, right? Your husband.
I think he stays for a year. I think he stays. I think he finishes.
Well, you got to honor your word, is what I'm saying. But I got a workaround potentially. I think your husband's number one priority is to find his own replacement and commit to the training. And the quicker he can find his replacement, now this is if the leader agrees to this. So if I go help you find the right person to replace me, and I help with the training, and we get that person there, then I'd like to leave earlier if we get it there. I think that's the only way to shorten the 12 months. And I would try that. If it were me, I would be trying to advance my leaving, but doing it in an honorable way that fulfills the need that I am creating.
But if you want to hold me to it, I'm going to go ahead and give you my notice now that on that day I'm gone.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it's at right now. How would you handle him? So he's asked for less responsibility, but he's been given the opposite. They've just piled stuff on him and made his job more stressful.
No, I'm not going to. I refuse to accept the extra responsibility. I didn't promise you that.
That's a separate conversation.
I promised you I would be here.
Yeah.
That's just a boundary issue.
The compensation during this 5 years has not increased by much.
It doesn't matter.
So it
doesn't matter. He's going to be there a year because he promised he would be.
Okay.
And it's bothering him, and it's bothering them. And there's a little more depth to all of this than I'm getting in this call that I can't see behind the curtain. I can feel it's there, but I don't know what else is going on here exactly. But
it's
anyway.
It's the personal aspect of it.
Yeah, I think there's some personal relationships here. I think there's some personal relationships that are weaving into this as well. And so anyway, no, I'm not taking any more responsibility. I'm going to fulfill my word. I'm not going to run your whole business for you. That wasn't what I told you I would do. I told you I wouldn't quit for 5 years, and I'm not going to quit. I'm going to give you my notice now at the 5-year mark. I'll be my last day. I'm done. In the meantime, I'm going to do the exact job description that you told me to do, and I'm not going to work more hours, and I'm not going to take on more responsibility for the same money. If you want to do that, you need to hire somebody else. And but that, that's fair. You're keeping your word and playing through. And I think he wants to do that, and you just don't want him to. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, host of The Ken Coleman Show, is my co-host. Thanks for joining us. Sam is going to start this hour off in Houston, Texas. Hey, Sam, how are you?
Hey, Dave, I'm doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I have a question here. I'm on baby step 6 right now, and it's time to kind of pay off the house, but I kind of have one issue. It kind of throws a little twist in there. So I have the emergency fund set aside. I have about $20,000, but I know my HVAC and furnace is extremely old, and it may not have too much longer. And so I was wondering, should I continue to pile money into the emergency fund and keep it in a money market account, or should I just start putting anything over that $20,000 into the house?
You gotten a bid on the HVAC replacement yet?
I did. I thought it actually had gone out about a month or so ago, and that's when they came in and told me that both of them were over a decade old. That was kind of expected when I bought the house. I kind of had to do everything, gut it, rerun everything. But at this point, I've had a couple of issues with the AC itself, and so I'm just not sure what to do. I know based on the baby steps, I should be paying directly on the house.
What was the estimate on the HVAC?
I think it was $17,500.
Yeah, I'd pile it. You need more than 20 in your emergency fund then. You basically need your emergency fund plus an HVAC fund.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I could be wrong, but I think the baby steps is just 6 months of expenses on the high end, and that
No. The baby steps is 3 to 6 months of expenses for your emergency fund. This is really not an emergency. This is my heating and air is going to go bad, and I'm saving up to pay for it. This is a separate savings account. This is like I'm saving up for Christmas.
Okay.
It's different than the
So
emergency fund.
Okay, so should I not put any money towards the house until I have another 20 kind of put aside for that? And
Yeah,
then start to pay towards the house?
you should wait on extra on the house until you get ready for this. Because otherwise, we can predict what's going to happen. You're going to have $3,000 left after you take 20 out of your emergency fund to fix your heat and air because you didn't prepare for it.
Okay.
Right? And we don't want to be there.
Yep. Yeah.
So we might as well actually plan this. And what do you make a year? What's your household income?
I make 200.
Okay. So pretty quickly you're going to have 17. And you know what? I would just go ahead and replace it.
Okay, so you would do it before it actually dies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because here's the other thing. It probably sucks. It's probably not very energy efficient. It's probably wrong, ancient, it's antique stuff on there. Like you said, 10, 15 years old, which is an antique heat and air. And so you could put a more efficient, higher SEER unit on there, and, you're going to have a better situation in the house, your utility bill's probably going to go down. And you don't have this thing glaring over you, this monster just waiting to break at exactly the wrong time, and you can't get a worker out there and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Save up 17 and then fix it. Oh, by the way, get more than one bid.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say 2 or 3. I sometimes, I'm not saying this is the case, Dave, but sometimes they're not as bad. The report on these things is not as bad as it seems. I've had multiple people come in and look at stuff before, and one guy said, I'd replace this tomorrow if it were me. And then another honest guy comes and goes, you know what, you probably easily got a year left on this, and that gives you the time to cash flow it.
Yeah.
Get multiple opinions on this, just like you would on a medical issue.
Well, and multiple opinions about what to put in. Do we put in a Bentley or do we put in a Chevrolet?
Yeah.
You can heat and air systems. You can put all kinds of things.
I just replaced one of mine. It wasn't anywhere close to 17. It was way less than that.
Yeah, exactly. Catherine's with us in Richmond, Virginia. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So, I am in a business with my family. My grandmother wanted to gift me and my 7 cousins a real estate business where we bought different houses, and this happened about 10 years ago. She gifted it to us when I was in college. My brother runs it. He is in charge of all the finances and everything, and I want out. I don't know anything that's going on with the business. I don't know how many houses we have. I don't know.
Why do you not know?
Because at the time I was 20. I didn't ask a lot of questions.
How old are you now?
I'm 30.
Okay, that's 10 years ago. You had 10 years to get caught up to speed. Why do you not know?
Right. Well, actually, I was working at a real estate right after college. I was working at a real estate management business, and I got the owner to kind of help me communicate with my cousins and my brother about the situation, and we got in a fight about it. And
why did you get in a fight? What was the fight about? You asked for information on the business that you own part of,
yes,
and he didn't want to tell you?
I asked for the income and expense statements. I tried to say, this is a business, not like a family matter, but he tried to make it, an emotional family matter.
How long ago was
like that? Oh, you don't trust me for running the business.
How long ago was that?
That was 7 years ago.
So what'd you do? You just got a little quiet mouse and sat there for 7 years on your angst?
I did. I tried to. Yes, I did.
Okay. So what are you going to do now?
I tried to get my grandma involved.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know. That's kind of why I'm calling the show.
Okay.
So you don't know how to get out procedurally, or are you trying to ask for emotional advice on this?
Procedurally, and how to communicate well about, I'm a teacher. I don't know anything about business, really, or how to run a business or about real estate. I mean, my husband and I own a house, but I don't know anything about an LLC or...
Okay. Have you talked to your brother now, otherwise?
Yes.
For like Christmas, you'll see him?
Yes.
And you just don't say anything. He just has bullied his way and put you in the corner.
The last time I had a conversation with him about it was a year ago on a family trip. I was like, hey, like, how's this going? Is there any chance that I could, see the financials, that we could have this conversation again, and have it not be an emotional thing, but as a co-business owner and as like a partner in this LLC altogether. And he said, I'm really busy. He owns another business, local business, and he told me that.
Your brother's a turd. All right, hold on a minute. We'll take you through this break. We're going to come back and talk to you about how to deal with your brother. Oh, my gosh. This is The Ramsey Show. Kid Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We're talking with Catherine in Richmond, Virginia. Her grandmother opened a real estate business for her and her brother and her cousins, 7 of them in total. And her brother runs it and has not given her any reports and won't tell her anything about it for a decade. And she wants out. Is that a fair summary of what you told me so far?
That's correct.
Okay, you didn't put any money into this. Your grandmother funded all of it and handed it to you and your cousins.
Yes.
How much is all of this worth, do you guess?
There's about 4 or 5 residential houses. At the time, they were worth $100,000 to $200,000. They're probably worth $300,000 to $400,000 now.
Okay. And
I think they're about all paid for.
Okay. And so your part is $500,000, give or take. Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, something like that. Are they distributing income to you guys?
No.
So you've not seen a dime out of it. He runs it.
No.
All the money comes back into his management fees, and nothing goes back out to you guys at all. And so all you have is this phantom thing that's happening over here, and you have absolutely no control over. How old is your grandmother?
She is in her 80s, late 80s.
Ooh.
And she has no authority anymore? She just simply gave it to all 7 of you and she stepped out? Or does she have any say in anything?
I tried to involve her one time, and they kind of just brushed her off. I mean, I think she's old enough to the point where they can kind of sweep things past her.
You're not hyper assertive. As a matter of fact, you're on the other end of the assertive scale. Is your husband an assertive person?
He's more assertive than I am, yes.
Okay. Because here's, you've got 3 options, as I can see it. And then you need to decide on one of these 3 and then quit worrying about it. Drop it. Okay?
Okay.
Option number 1 is continue what you're doing and just let your brother run it and just forget it and not think another thing about it. And someday they'll need your signature.
Okay.
Okay? And whatever. Just don't worry about it. Okay? I don't like that option. You don't like that option. That's why you called. But that is an option. Okay? Another option is scorched earth. And that is you and your husband sit down with your brother, call him for an appointment. If he won't give you one, then you're going to have to write him a certified letter. And your husband can do the talking. And you say, here's what it sounds like. We have tried repeatedly to get reports from you to find out where the cash flow is going from these properties. You're not doing anything, and you say we don't trust you. You turn this into this. It's not any of that. This business is being run very poorly because the stakeholders are getting no information. This is an improper way to run a business, and we want out, and you're going to buy us out right now. And you're going to show us the valuations, and based on that, you're going to buy us out. And if you do not do that, we're going to hire an attorney, and the circuit judge will force you to buy us out. We will disband this horrible partnership that your grandmother put together. It's a nightmare. Now, that one sounds kind of fun. The downside is that you probably lose your brother in the process.
Right.
But you probably lost him anyway, because he's a turd. Okay?
To an extent.
Yeah, no, he is. No, he is. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, he's a complete bully. Yeah. He has pushed you into the corner, and he's done that since you were a tiny child, and he's continued to do it in your adulthood, and he gets away with it. He's a turd. Okay? No question about it. I mean, you've told me like 5 different ways you've approached this guy, and every time he just stiff-arms you and treats you with complete disrespect, and you know that's true.
Yeah. I like number 2, Dave, and you haven't even gotten to number 3 yet.
Yeah.
I'm voting for 2.
Number 3 is walk away. And call him and say, I'm tired of this. I don't want anything else to do with it. I don't need the money. Prepare the papers. I'm going to sign them and deed you whatever it is. You can have it all. I don't want any of it. Screw you.
I don't like that one, Catherine. This is yours as much as it is his. I don't like that one.
There's a part of me doesn't like it, but there's a part of it that is just life goes on. Whatever. It's not her money that's in it. Her grandmother gave it to her. It's found money. It's not the end of the world. It's just because one way you keep your brother in the thing, I'm not sure you've got much when you keep him.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I think you take the bully on and the bully caves. He doesn't want to fight. He's just been pushing you away.
And no, I'm not going to settle for seeing the books now. We're too late. That ship has sailed. Yeah. No, you cannot compromise. Yes, you are buying me out, or the judge is going to tell you to buy me out. Your decision. You have 10 days.
So that's a circuit court?
Yeah, you'd have to file a lawsuit to dissolve this LLC. And you're a stakeholder in the LLC, and then they will have to bring forth documents that show that you're in violation of one of those, and you're not. This is you're filing for the disillusionment of a partnership.
He doesn't want that fight. I don't think you're losing anything with him relationally either.
Well, you're not going to be. She talks to him now. He won't talk to her again after this.
Well, maybe.
So I mean,
you need your cut. You need your cut. Whatever yours is worth, and you need to see the books to get your cut.
But you can no longer be any type of wishy-washy about this. You need to make a decision. I'm going to ignore it, hold my nose, and deal with it. That's the decision. And I'm not going to be stressed about it anymore. And then it's not anybody's fault but mine, because I made this decision to let these people just run their course. That's one. Number 2, I'm going to take it on full-on, frontal, right at you. We're going to bring the bazookas, and we're going to burn this thing to the ground. Number 3, we're just going to walk away, and we're going to hand you the keys, and you can keep it. Screw it. I don't need it. But make a decision. The angst of 12 or 10 years of you carrying all of this relational garbage around this whole deal, it's been so destructive to you and to your brother and to your relationship with him. It's a horrible deal.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get out of the deal, one way or another, emotionally.
Can I suggest that we sell all the properties and dissolve it that way?
Well, that's not your option. The only option you've got, they're going to have to sell something to give you your cut. They may all want to stay together, except you.
Right.
You just want out. So
if they keep going, that's none of your business.
Right.
But you're out. I want my cut. You need to sell off enough properties to pay me my cut, and you need to show me proper valuation as to what my 1/7 is and why.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't give me proof of that, we're going to talk to the judge.
Okay.
And it's going to take 2 years and $20,000 worth of legal fees.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the justice system has nothing to do with justice.
Or efficiency.
No, none at all. And so I sure hope you don't get drug into that. I hope your brother's not that stupid, but he very well could be. Kind of sounds like he is. So he didn't have time for a meeting. Maybe he doesn't have time for a lawsuit.
That's what I believe, Dave. I think that's why
I don't have time for a meeting. It had nothing to do with his schedule. It had to do with he didn't want to deal with her.
He does not want to deal with her.
He's stiff-armed.
He doesn't want her input. He doesn't want her questioning how he's doing things. And I think this is an easy out for the bully here.
He's gotten away with it for too long.
He has. I think this is an easy out for him. When she goes at this, he's going to go, all right.
To Jesus.
Yeah.
Meeting. Yeah.
He wants to get done with this. I think he's going to, yeah. Well, I question not whether or not he's going to show her the books to where we get an honest evaluation.
Oh, I can make him do that too legally.
That's what I would be doing.
I'm a stakeholder. Yeah, I mean, the judge is going to get involved here if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
But this is going to require tremendous like a 10x assertiveness for her and her husband together off of what they have done. So far, they're kind of like, hey, would you please maybe sort of? And it's like, he's like, nope, okay, sorry I asked.
Yeah.
You know, oh, good Lord.
Yeah. And the other good news is you get out of a family vacation, which is always good. That's the silver lining here under all this advice.
Hey, grandmas out there, don't build stuff like this.
Yeah, 7 cousins?
It's crappy.
Wow.
Dumb butt idea, Grandma. Yeah. You were trying to be a blessing. You screwed this up.
It's like the Waltons Real Estate Fund. Good night, Jim Bob.
Not Mary Ellen. No, Mary Ellen, you can't see the books.
Huge swath of our audience has no idea what we're even talking about right there. Look it up. It's a classic.
It's Boomer Hour.
The
It's all right. This is the Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Doug is with us. Hi, Doug. How are you?
Good, Dave and Ken. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Where do you live?
I live in Raritan, New Jersey. It's about 25 minutes north of Princeton.
Wonderful. Good to have you. Welcome to Nashville. And here to do a debt-free scream, how much did you pay off?
Paid off a little over $88,000.
Good for you. And how long did this take you?
31 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that year and a half?
So start about
2.5 years.
25 to 50,000 with the full-time and just side hustles.
Whoa! What do you do for a living?
So currently I work 2 jobs. I work as a food delivery driver for Grubhub, and then I do Amazon during like late nights.
Okay, so you're busting it. Just to get her done.
Yep.
Okay, what kind of debt was the $88,000?
All student loans.
Whoa, kick Sally Mae out.
Sally Mae is out of there.
Done. Done with old Sally.
What was the degree for?
I went for music performance.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily use the degree during my debt-free journey, but I got sick and tired of just, being in debt and just kicked it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for you. What's your long-term career goal?
My long-term is definitely pursuing some kind of teaching in music. I know during this journey I got into accounting, so that's something I'm definitely looking forward to go towards. But music is definitely going to be my number one passion.
Gotcha. Okay. Good for you. So what started you on this idea you want to be out of debt 31 months ago?
2020, COVID.
That'll do it.
That was definitely my wake-up call. And even like way before, back in 2015, my stepfather at the time, he introduced me to your material. It was pretty much like YouTube format. And then in 2020, I started realizing that you had a format through Spotify. So I just, went to your show and listened to like all the episodes and the debt-free screams. And that's like when I got connected to Ken Coleman, John Deloney, George Campbell, and all the other personalities as well. So just going through the journey, it's been like, going through all the podcasts and just, being encouraged through that. And yeah, and it was actually the summer of 2020 that I really started to, stay focused in terms of paying off the debt. And Grubhub, that was the food delivery service that I worked for and still do. And so that was just working that like 40, 50 hours a week on top of like my other job for Amazon. That was really like the 2 jobs that really were like lucrative during that time.
Well, I've forgotten all the stupid phrases we had. What was it? Shelter in place, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was called? Yeah. So Grubhub was like a lifesaver because people were told not to leave their homes because they were going to die.
Yeah,
right.
I've had a lot of hungry people.
Yeah, you did, man. That was a great service to be in. Very good.
How many hours were you pulling?
There were several weeks that was like 50 to like 60 hours.
Yeah.
for about a little over a year and a half. Just kept on hustling, yeah.
Yeah. So just hustle and grind and knock it out.
Hustle and grind.
That's
and
simple.
My parents were very gracious for me, you know, living with them. I am the stereotype living with under my mom's basement. So
you got caught up in that rant a while ago.
Yeah. No, but that's not you at all. You're out there
you're
busting
working.
it.
Yeah.
You're not stereotype. You're working.
Yeah, I was working.
Yeah, you're
working
a
all the
stud.
time.
That's right.
So yeah,
there's no shame in that, man. Especially when you're getting out of debt. There's no shame in that.
Well, and it's a temporary thing.
That's right.
It's a method. It's a method out. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you were not who we're aiming at. We're aiming at people that weren't working, if I recall. Yeah. That's funny though. You were sitting there while we did all that. All right. So, what is the secret to paying off $88,000 in 31 months?
Know that you can't put hope in the wrong things. And I know, especially with the student loan crisis and like what's going on with that, you cannot depend on the government or just other people in general to take care of your problems. I know there were many nights that I had to look in the mirror and say that, you know, I am the problem. And the past mistakes I have made, I mean, I've, you know, come out from an abusive relationship. I came out of an addiction that I struggled with for half my life, like 13 years.
Wow.
And how you phrase it.
How long have you been dry?
I've been dry for a little over a month and a half now.
Good for you.
It's very recent.
Good for you. That's awesome.
I'm proud of you. Good work.
Thank you. And so, yeah, it's just, I know my mom and we got really connected during that time of just me getting out of debt. We watched a lot of sermons, like Billy Graham sermons, and just listened to all kinds of like choirs and everything. And just know that, you know, people like me who are single and just know who think that they just can't make it, know that there's hope, and especially in Jesus Christ, because Him as my Lord and Savior, He has just done so much for me and my family that I cannot thank Him enough for getting me here. I just could not do it without Him.
Amen.
The strength that He's given me is just, there were nights that I feel like I couldn't make it anymore.
Oh.
And just putting my hope in Him, it just really, it really helped me a lot.
You've done a lot of work in the last 31 months, and not just delivering groceries. A lot of personal work. Well done.
Yeah, it was a financial journey for sure, but a lot of it was like character development and just, you know, growing in.
And turns into a spiritual journey.
Journey,
as well.
During that time, actually, I did create a playlist. Essentially, it's just called a debt-free playlist. It's just a playlist to, you know, get people motivated and just, you know that there's hope during this journey. So
good for you, man. Well done. Very well done. Hey, we got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you in the Live and Give bundle, as well as the Baby Steps Millionaires. That's the next chapter in your story.
Thank you.
I got a feeling you've laid a foundation here during this 31 months that's going to allow you to do a whole lot of wonderful things in your life. Spiritual foundation, a financial foundation, an emotional foundation. You're dry for a month and a half. This is good. It's good work.
Thank you.
Very good work. And, of course, also we've got a one-year subscription or one-year membership to Financial Peace University. Go through the details there. You don't have to watch the cheap YouTube. You can watch the real thing. Yeah. And, we'll line you up on all of that. And you use it or give it away and whatever you need to do. Very, very well done. And way to go, Mom, cheering him on and giving him some support along the way. That's good. That's good work. That's not a bad type of support. That's not enabling. That's lifting. There's a difference.
How about a shout out to Billy Graham? You know, a lot of young people wouldn't hurt you to watch some Billy Graham on YouTube. You might be surprised. That's awesome stuff.
Wouldn't hurt old people either.
That too. Yeah. I'm telling you. That's awesome stuff. Proud of you.
Good stuff, Doug.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. Very proud of you. You're a hero, man. Good work. How's it feel to be free?
It feels awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Onward and upward now.
Yep.
Is it worth all that struggle when you stand right there right now?
It was. It is. And I'm just speechless right now.
Yeah. Good for you.
Good for you. All right, Doug from Newark, New Jersey area, $88,000 paid off in 31 months. Did it delivering. $25,000 to $50,000 income, 60 to 80 hours a week. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! Wow! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Beautifully done. I love it. Well, folks, Financial Peace University is on sale right now. We got the old Black Friday special going on there. The cheapest, the lowest price we've ever done, $59.99 $99. You can sign up for Financial Peace University. This is the 9-week class that 10 million people have gone through and learned how to handle money, get out of debt, build wealth, be outrageously generous, and get hope and get freedom. 2 words that most people don't grasp around money. It's possible. Financial peace, 2 words that don't go together, like airline service. So check it out, guys. Get FPU of $59. Go to RamseySolutions.com/GiveFPU. That's a chance for you to sign up for yourself and or give it to someone else. You can buy as many as you want at $59. They make great gifts to give away. We'll send you the membership, and you can make that a stocking stuffer. Some of you spend more than this on pizza. And this is life-changing 9 weeks of lessons. Financial Peace University. RamseySolutions.com/GiveFPU. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Deuteronomy 4:9, only be careful and watch yourselves closely so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen or let them fade from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to their children after them. Agatha Christie said, one doesn't recognize the really important moments in life of one's life until it's too late. This is true. Blinds.com, question of the day. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Means even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code RAMSEY to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Thomas in Missouri. As a Christian, I feel like I have a duty to take care of my employees. I have a small business with 9 employees. They currently make minimum wage. If I were to raise their wages to a living wage, then my profit margin would decrease. This is a business I worked really hard at for so many years. I think God would want me to benefit from my hard work now. What should I do? Okay. This is an onion here, Dave. Number one, businesses deal with this all the time. And when they raise wages, they have a decision to make. Do you want your profit margin to stay the same? And so if so, then you have to raise your costs, and you have to weigh that with the marketplace and what your customers will or will not pay. And this is the dance that a lot of small business people have to deal with, and have had to deal with it and have been hurt from it. So I don't think it's a choice here between God wants you to benefit from your hard work now and not doing what you want to do, which is pay your employees more. I think you can do both, but you're going to have to square raising some prices or cutting costs in other areas, if that's even an option. This is hard to answer. I want to say that everything I just said is very difficult to answer that via a static question where we can't answer a lot of questions. Ask more questions.
Yeah, the buzzword that's the problem in this is living wage.
And who determines that?
Yeah, well, I can tell you who determines it. Me.
Right, that's my point, not what
I'm
culture
the employer.
is saying.
No, I'm the employer. Here's the thing, okay? If I pay $12 an hour, or if I pay whatever you want to, whatever minimum wage is in your area, okay, and a guy comes in and you do a budget on the guy, and he has 5 kids, and he needs $90,000 a year to pay his bills and feed his kids, I can't, as a Christian, hire him for that job because I can't pay him $90,000 to do that job. And $90,000 for him is a living wage because that's what it takes to feed his 5 kids. Okay? If I have a 19-year-old who lives with his parents, comes in and is looking for part-time work, and any money he makes is going in his pocket because he has basically no personal overhead, and $12 an hour is what I can afford as the employer, then that is his living wage. Mm-hmm. So this idea that there is a universal living wage is absolute horse crap. Mm-hmm. There is no such thing, because it takes families in different situations, in different locales, a different amount to live. It takes a family of 4 more to live in Manhattan than it does in Nashville. So the living wage would be different for a family of 4 or a family of 1 or a family of 14. The living wage changes on that. And so what we do at Ramsey as Christians, we have a responsibility to take care of our employees. And one of the responsibilities is not hiring someone who can't afford to live on what we are paying for that position. So you are disqualified if you can't make it on what we are paying for that position, regardless of if you want the job or you're qualified for the job. We will run a budget with you because we care about you, and it is our responsibility once you are here to make sure you are cared for. And we do take care of our team. Beyond measure, we take care of our team.
That's correct.
Way beyond measure, we take care of our team. But we do not hire people who cannot afford to live on what we pay for that position.
Yeah.
And that is our responsibility. That's your responsibility. So, we had one lady go, based on your inappropriate request for my personal budget information, I'm going to withdraw my name from future employment consideration. To which we said, people that talk like that don't even work here. So we're not doing, it's great. Yeah. See ya, goodbye. Don't let the door hit you in the butt. It's good. We don't need you. But the reason for the inappropriate request of the personal information is to protect you from you. Because some people will take a job that they can't afford to live on the income because they're so desperate for a job.
Right.
And but this idea that there's some kind of generic living wage out there floating around that you have a moral obligation to that's a singular number is absolute horse crap. Yeah. So you're paying minimum wage for 9 employees. Are any of them trying to actually live on that with a family? If so, why did they take that job, or why did you hire them into something they can't afford to live on? And that's a bigger question than do you raise your wages to meet this?
Right. And here's the other thing. You have to look at your business model and the market and go, based on whatever product or service I am selling, because it's one of the two, this is what the market will allow me to do. And I may not ever be able to truly have all 9 of them on what would be called a full living wage. You might be in the hourly space, and that's what you have. And thus you've got turnover, you have younger people working for it. That's just part of your business.
I had a guy come in the other day and said a company offered him $80,000 more to do the exact same thing he's doing with us. And we said,
fantastic.
We'll help you pack your desk.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
We cannot make a return on paying you $80,000 more than you're being paid now. So you're going to be working at the new place, my friend, and we'll help you go. Because we have to make a return on investment here, or the rest of the team doesn't eat.
Right.
Because their checks don't clear. There's a responsibility all the way around. So yes, God would want you to take care of your team, and He would want you to benefit from your hard work now. These are not incompatible things.
That's correct. Yes.
They're not incompatible.
That's correct.
That's the point of it. And don't fall into this socialistic living wage crap. That was Karl Marx. That was not Jesus. Okay? There's a difference. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Julia is with us in Sacramento. Hi, Julia. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you? It's a pleasure.
Same here. How can we help?
My mom recently purchased a timeshare in Mexico, and she paid cash for it.
Gross.
She reached out to me and asked me to give her my ID and my birth certificate for the notary. She wants to modify her trust.
No! I don't want a timeshare. It's legalized fraud. You're going to get, this is not a blessing. This is a curse. Why would a loving mother do this to her daughter? Because she still thinks it's a good deal. She got screwed. No, we don't need to pass this on. This is not an heirloom.
Yeah, she thinks it's a good deal.
It's not a good deal. It's a horrible deal.
Yeah.
There are no good timeshares. They suck, 100% of them. It is one of the worst products ever put out by man. I hope I wasn't unclear.
Agree. Yeah, you were very clear. So
I
what
thought
should
so
I
as
do?
well. In my ear, he was clear. Don't make him say no a third time, Julia.
Yeah, just lovingly, kindly, Mom, I'm not interested in the timeshare. Thank you, though.
Okay.
I think they're a really bad deal, and I'm really sorry you bought one, Mom. And I think you're going to regret it, and I'd never, ever, ever, ever want it in my name. No, thank you, thank you, thank you, no. I also don't want your dog to bite me. You know, this is like, these are, let me tell you, there's a 97% dissatisfaction rate with timeshare owners. There's no other product out there in the world that has a 97% dissatisfaction rate. People that buy them hate them. They're a complete screw job. Your poor, precious mother got screwed over and hasn't realized it yet, and she's trying to pass that on as an heirloom. No, please, no, 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 no. See, I lowered the volume for those notes. Just for you, Ken.
Believe me, we all appreciate it.
Just
we
for
really
you.
do. That's the gift that keeps on giving there.
Good show, Ken.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Laura on the phones today.
The OG. She's
Ben,
back.
Zach, Andrew, James, everybody in the booth. Good work, you guys. Very well. Very good job, the booth people. That puts this hour in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily
Dave
with the
here.
Prince
You
of
can find
Peace,
all of
Christ
our
Jesus.
shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.